as I said this morning, and we didn't time this. This is just the MMA gods smiling down upon us. The UFC announced that on April 10th in Croatia, or should I call it Croatia? I think it's Croatia. I think that's how you say it. Not Croatia. It's a little too, you can't pronounce the I that much. Got to be a little more subtle. Croatia. Anyway, it's going to be JDS, Junior dos Santos, coming off that loss to Alistair Overeem against Big Ben Rothwell. And wouldn't you know it, Ben Rothwell was already booked. Perhaps he knew something that we didn't. Let's ask him. Big Ben, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, Ben. Why do you sound not so excited to be on the show?
You look into things too much.
Okay. You didn't know that was going to be announced?
Aren't I? Didn't I even reach out to you and tell you I was surprised that you hadn't reached out to me yet? You're like, I was giving you a week.
Well, all those Johnny-come-latelys wanted to book you right off the bat, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him some time.
He a dig into the rest of me.
We've been there since day one. We've been on this journey since, pre-IFL, let's be honest.
Hey, you got the interview immediately after, so.
I did. That was big. But wait, did you know that they would announce it today? Were you giving me a sort of subtle scoop there?
I just, common sense said that, this is going to get announced soon. I wasn't sure if they're going to wait a day or what was going to happen. So I'm glad that it just got it out there because I'm on the phone with you right now.
Yes, this is perfect. What great timing. Thank you to the UFC, my good friends over in Europe. Now, I got to say, if we could be honest here for a second, Ben.
Well, if we could be honest, you said it was perfect. I said, well, we could have been talking at 11.
Well, that's
could have been talking a little sooner, so it can always be better.
All right, fair enough. Although we're not on at 11.
12 o'clock. But hey, you know what? Thanks for making sure none of the heavyweight divisions coaches or anything were on beforehand. So
that's true.
Get me all fired up.
It was just Mike Jackson.
That. Thank you.
But wait, I just want to be honest. I don't know if I love this fight for you. I don't
well,
really.
Okay,
please.
This is going to come. So just let me get to it. I'll tell you why. Because on social media, I try to put out there right away too. Look at it this way: waiting 10 months is really like the option, and I no. All right, because Alistair Overeem, even though we already fought, it's just still top guys, and he's injured or he's dealing with things, but he said it's a shoulder. Andre Arlovski, same thing, said it's a shoulder. Cain Velasquez, everybody knows, documented back injury. And then Travis Brown was, I guess, from everything I'm hearing, was supposed to take this fight. It was a lock.
Oh.
And then his things were said, or something happened, and he said that his foot was too injured. So now it's all four of the top guys, and there's the other two are, obviously common sense will say something's happening there, so that leaves Junior. Now Junior dos Santos might be coming off a loss, but he also has beat Stipe, he's beat Cain, and he's beat Verdum, and he's a former UFC heavyweight champion. So. That is what it is. He has a lot of people that believe in him still. They think it's a great fight. A lot of people, are picking him still. So it means it's a great fight for the fans. I know that I have a legion of fans now that wholeheartedly don't think I'm going to win this fight. They think I'm going to go on and win the title and defend it. I believe that I'm going to make all of them right. But it starts here with Junior dos Santos, and I believe this will indefinitely make me the number one contender. So I accept this challenge.
Okay, damn. Now I actually think that you sold me. I think that was perfect. Did they tell you to say that, or did you come up with that by yourself? That was fantastic. I haven't
really spoke too much except because they're waiting for me to talk here in the next couple of days.
Oh, okay. Well, they're waiting for this. They're probably transcribing this interview right now.
I'll count on you to take care of that.
Wow. So what? Okay. It seems like the original plan, based on what you were saying, was Travis Brown. How'd you feel about that?
No. He was set up to fight Junior.
Oh.
I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
So the Junior was already in, and then they went through all these guys and everybody. That's the list of reasons why.
So you're plan B.
Said, listen. So they asked me. They said, "Listen, you don't have to do anything. They're like, you can, this is kind of the landscape. This is what's going on. This is when we project. We'll get you matched." And they know that I have no problem waiting 9 to 10 months. I've done it 6 years of my career.
Right.
But I've also, when I'm healthy and I'm training properly, fought 8 times in 1 year. So guess what? I'm pretty healthy right now. I feel really good. And this all makes sense to me. And yeah, overseas isn't always an advantage, but the thing is he's traveling, he's going to be in foreign territory as well. So I see it as an equal that way. And it's just, it's part of being a professional, and to prove that you can be a main event fighter. These are things that have to go with it. And I can do all these things. I know that I can, and I can go out and perform even better than I did in my last fight.
So they actually gave you the option of sitting out and waiting. I'm assuming Miocic Verdum is happening in May. All signs point to that. So was that even an option to wait for the winner of that fight?
Like it could be. It could have been.
Uh-huh.
It just seems from the timeline.
Yeah.
It sounds like, that might be. But then one of these other guys might have been like, oh, who knows? 10 months, a lot of things can happen. So there's a fight ready now, and I'm healthy now. So, all right, it makes sense. And it is, like I said, it's still a big name.
Okay, but then let me ask you this. You have a very strong case for being the number one contender right now. Are you disappointed you didn't get the title shot?
Disappointment doesn't exist to me right now.
Ah.
I don't think about it. I think about this was supposed to happen. It's just kind of the way it is. It's kind of like the last everything. I could have had the Stipe fight, and I don't think it made as strong of a message as beating Josh Barnett the way I did. I think everything is just got to be positive. And the more I continue to do that you see the results.
Did you watch the JDS Overeem fight?
Of course.
What did you think of his performance? I mean, obviously he lost, but leading up to that point.
I could see both of them were just respected each other, and they're very tentative. And, obviously we've seen them perform differently.
Yeah.
They performed a certain way this time.
Why do you think that is?
I know kind of like what you're digging for, but I'm just going to stay, and it's just the way it is.
What do you mean, what I'm digging for?
A whole bunch of reasons.
No, honestly, I'll tell you where I'm coming from. I feel like he's been hit in the head a lot. I don't know if that's what you were thinking, but I feel like he's been in a lot of wars, this guy. I mean, this guy, the Kane fights, the Miocic fight was 5 rounds as well, which, quite frankly, I thought Miocic won that fight. I don't know about you. What do you think?
I was there live for that fight, and I just thought it was a great fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see someone going the other way, but I was okay with the decision. I think he just had a few more shots get through. He showed perseverance, and I think it was a very close fight, though. I mean, very, very good fight. It was something to watch live.
And I wasn't necessarily blown away by either of them in December, Reem or JDS. So that's all. I was just wondering if, basically the question is, do you feel like he's on the downslide of his career? While you clearly are on the upswing here, do you feel like you're catching him at the right time?
I mean, this isn't like anything. I don't judge my opponents, and I don't look at what they're doing. I don't try to tell them, because when they do it to me, like, it doesn't turn out well for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to do it to them.
Okay.
But this is just the way it is. This is like the night of the fight persona. It speaks. Any fight for them puts them on the downswing.
Right.
When they take me. It's like, if you're going to fight me, then that's kind of the way it is. That's the way I have to handle it, because I'm here to beat everybody. I said it's not about one guy. It's about all of them. All of them that matter to me.
So you're oozing confidence right now. I mean, that's very clear. Have you ever been this confident in your entire life? You just like, it feels to me like you know that when you go in the cage, you're winning these days. That's the mindset. Have you ever been like this before?
When I was younger, when I first started, it was more ignorance. I say ignorance is bliss, and you don't know any better. So you get in there, and I was just going crazy on guys. From my first fight, you see me going. I'm 17 years old and just going crazy. Like, didn't know anything. And I was just very aggressive, and it would bring it. And I had a lot of awesome, where I had these walk-off knockouts where I'm like, I throw this combination and walk away, like early enough in my career. So it was like, could have been easy to have a big head, and I think I was like confident, but that was the wrong kind of confidence, because I didn't know what it was like fighting a 6'8" guy that knew how to fight and train under Militiches. That fight right there is like, all of my 9 losses have evolved and changed me who I am. I would not be myself if it wasn't for them. So it's like every part of my career matters, not just the wins. But with each one of those losses, I think they damage your confidence in a sense in the beginning, especially. Remember, I'm like 20, 21, 22 years old. 22 years old, I fought 11 times in a 1-year period of time, though some of those fights was 2 fights in one night. And then one weekend, I fought once on Friday and twice on Saturday.
Wow.
In Hawaii, 16-man tournament. It was one of a kind. So it's 3 fights in one weekend against guys like Meat Truck and, stuff like Tim Sylvia was in the tournament, all these big heavyweights. So that was a crazy time then. So I had some losses then too during this 11-fight stretch, and they changed me then. As I matured as a person, it just, a lot of things, I went through a lot in my career. I spent 6 years at the Militiche camp, 5 years prior. I spent in Kenosha. That's where I started this whole thing. That's where I was doing these 11 fights in 1 year. I had my run 8 fights in 1 year in the Militiche camp. And then, 2009, I left, and kind of when I came to Kenosha, that's when the next evolution began really, because I had to do a lot of things on my own. I didn't have a choice, and every time I kind of reached out to somebody, it's just always been like this way with me in martial arts. From the very beginning before I started, I wanted to seek out the truth. And the reason I refused to do martial arts when I was really young, because I was smart enough to know that martial arts was watered down. Yeah, I think it was all karate and taekwondo at the time. Nothing against them, not saying anything's like that, but there was a lot of it where people just want to make money, sell belts, didn't teach you anything. And I knew that at a young age, so it was really hard for me to get into martial arts. And once I did, that's what started this whole journey. Where I'm at right now is learning the truth of martial arts, learning the truth about myself, and learning the truth about a lot of things I didn't even know I was going to get the truth of. Business, politics, all of these things I've learned on this journey. And right now here I am talking to you as I'm on this step here to my title run and defending this title.
All right, so do you believe in your heart of hearts you win this fight, you'll finally get that title shot?
I believe so. I think a 5-fight win streak in the heavyweight division, winning the way that I am against the competition I'm winning against, I feel strong. I feel like the realm of fans saying they want this, we know that does affect the UFC, and I believe that wave of fans will happen with a fifth victory as heavyweight. And I feel the wave now is already there, but I feel like a fifth win is going to put her over the top. And no one on this planet, except for, of course, your few critics, and they're always going to be there, but I feel like 90+% of everyone will say, I'm the number one contender, and that's the way I want it.
Have you been told that? Did they tell you when you accepted that you're getting the title shot if you win?
I believe there was some talk. I wasn't on the conversation, but
okay.
It sounded like I was at least in the conversation.
Yeah.
And like a possibility, and like, yeah, if I want to wait 10 months because they already have something else set up, which is understandable. So, just being told those things, it's like, yeah, it's there. But I need to do something better than just wait around.
On February 4th, you tweeted, "Yo, Stipe Miocic, keep an eye out because that bag doesn't hit back." What did you mean by that?
No, I said you, Stipe.
Oh, I thought that was a typo.
No, I said you, like to him. I'm like, you watch it, because he told everybody, hey, watch out, watch this video about this. And I was just making a joke, like, no, you watch it.
Oh, okay.
That thing doesn't hit back. Just to kind of mess with him, because I try to have fun, like, respectfully. But he makes jokes like, man, when him and Verdum are going back, and Verdum said something like really goofy back, and he's like, man, I thought I was bad at talking shit. So I figured, like, all right, I'll jump in, mess with him a little bit. He didn't say anything back. It's funny in itself. But we've had some, pleasant exchanges back and forth. Like I said, outside of the octagon, outside of my fight persona, dude, I respect these guys. He's very, he's a good man, and so is Verdum, and these guys that I've been a chance to interact with. I respect them, of course, as you can see with Josh Barnett. Junior dos Santos, same thing. But we're here to compete with each other. We're challenging each other. So it's fun because the fans like to see it. And then, like, Verdum, I had to dig in on him.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Verdum goes from, Rothwell threw my name in the mix to, like, the more he got asked about it, the more he started backpedaling. So I think it's funny.
You think he's afraid of you?
I mean, let's be serious. Fear exists in all these men's heart. I mean, especially when you watch me fight. It's just there. How each one of them deals with it and the effect of it, it's all different. But I definitely think, like, these guys are like, all right, we're smart. I'm going to get paid the same to fight this guy or this guy. Which one? Yeah, I'm not the one they pick. Why would you? I kind of messed it up on Fox Live. I said I'm like jumping in a box of glass. I meant jumping into a box of broken glass. Like, you jump into that thing, no matter what, no matter how you try to roll or live, you're going to get messed up. Even if you win in this jumping in the box of broken glass game, you're still going to get hurt indefinitely. Like that, that coming into a fight me. I'm not going to take you down and put you in a nice key lock and you lost, it's okay. No, if I take you down, I'm going to smash you repeatedly with elbows and hurt things on you any way that I can before I submit you. Like, that's my mindset. Like, they know it. Like, I don't think anything else. I'm going to hurt you. Like, that's how it is to win this, what we do. It's competition. But in order to win, you win by breaking the person off.
So since the win 9 days ago in New Jersey, how many people have asked you about the Gogo choke? Can they learn it? How do they learn it? How many queries are you getting?
Yeah, I see it's fun for that because a lot of people talking about it. The funniest thing about it is all the people on it, they're making videos, all like comparing it or what they think they know about it. It's hilarious to me and Luis because they don't have a clue. Even the ones that are like, oh yeah, this is breaking it down, and they don't break down anything. then you got another guy trying to post videos and talk about he's had it done to him and stuff, and it's just like a joke.
So none of these people know what they're talking
about. You, on the other hand,
yes.
you built a huge credibility to it because you said, yeah, Luis did it to you and only did a bit, and you know how awful it was. So you definitely threw respect at it, and people are like, wow, this thing is something.
He did it like 5%. He did like a second, touch it, and I felt like it was about to pop out of my throat. The Adam's apple.
It's for real.
Has he done it to you?
Well, I mean, I had to learn it.
Sure.
Of course.
But maybe he was
gotta
like...
take it before you learn it. And then I hear that when I was talking about it being a bear trap, I heard that sort of become its nickname too. So you know what? It is kind of like it's like sticking your head in a bear trap. Like you're done. Like that's it.
As we sit here today talking, do you think that is the most lethal finishing maneuver right now in mixed martial arts?
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, just striking offense lands cleanly, and it's devastating.
Yeah.
You know, and like you can't tap from that. Like, oh, you're ended. You're getting woke up. Like that's what you just did to somebody. The submission is choke. It's like it's lethal feeling, and if I kept it applied, you're gonna die. Like I bet you someone will die from that. If I got to hold it for like a minute, and nobody came and like helped the guy or anything, and we were out on the street, you're dead. You're gonna die. Your throat just crushed. You can't breathe anymore, like, even if you wanted to. Oh, you tapped out a minute later. It doesn't matter. You're gonna die. You're dead already. I think that is that. So rear nakeds and stuff, they're a little bit different, you know, because you're using the way you use your forearm and stuff, and like you can kill someone, but it takes a little bit longer and stuff like that. And doesn't when you let it go, if someone taps, you let it go. You kind of like you're okay. Maybe your head swims a little bit, just like a triangle. Maybe your head swims a little bit. You can get messed up how long it was held on for. But the Gogo is like does physical damage, like so it's definitely different that way. Like arm bars and heel hooks. I mean, dude, those are bad, dude. You could put a nasty heel hook on somebody, they ain't gonna walk right. You know what I mean? You've just taken their leg away. So there's some nasty stuff out there.
By the way, did you watch? I know you were watching because you tweeted about the Wonder Boy fight, but Roy Nelson, longtime friend of yours from the IFL days, he wins and afterwards calls Jared Rosholt. He said he's not a fighter, and Rosholt has been criticized greatly. What did you think of his performance in the fight?
I mean, I don't want to kick a guy when he's down, but I mean, I said this before going in. Like, I'm a fan of the sport first and foremost. And the guy said some Rosholt I'm talking about said some things that were already like, man, look bad. The last three wins they're bad. They're snoozers. You know, people just don't want to watch that kind of fighting style. It just don't. Like, it's not that you can't take guys down and, you know, smash them on the ground. Like, yeah, it can be great. But you just take a guy down and don't do anything and just kind of use control, grind out a decision. You know, I had a fight like that one time. And I think I was my worst critic. And you won the fight and you couldn't tell. He wins a fight like that, and he's happy still. And this is why, and it was sad. I think maybe even you asked him, and you set him up. You're like, so what's more important, putting on an exciting fight or just winning, you know, making sure you get the win? And he fell for the bait, and he's like, well, man, I got to get that other paycheck. And you're just like, oh, doomed. Like, I thought for sure overhand right from Nelson first round. If the Roy Nelson, I was going to tweet this, and I was kind of whatever, but the Roy Nelson that showed up against Josh Barnett was beast moding, and that guy would have destroyed, you know, and maybe Roy said, you know, it was just the way he was fighting him. He was just running from him. You know, could be. I think if Roy just got even a little more aggressive, he would have got what he wanted.
Have you been able?
I think he was respecting the takedowns and stuff too much. I don't know why.
Have you been able to clear up the whole mask cape thing with Reebok? Next time, can you rock it, or is that just out?
I have no idea. I mean, as of right now, no. Just if they're anything like they were the night of the fight, no. Everybody's the same.
And just to be clear, that's the UFC that stopped it, right? Because like, there's no Reebok reps walking around.
Right.
But did you get it?
UFC's like, even though it's UFC doing it, it's still like it's the partnership. It's like UFC's responsibility to Reebok to do this. So of course it's UFC giving the penalties and UFC's doing it. They have to show Reebok, yes, we are regulating this. We're not just going to let the guys do whatever they want and disrespect you.
What was that song that you came out to? The song that you came out to. What was that?
You want to know? Well, it's from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
It's incredible. I love it.
I came out to the fight before.
Yeah, I know, but I've never asked you. It's my favorite.
I like it too.
Who gave you that idea?
It came to me driving in my car, going through some of the music I downloaded. I wasn't even sure why I downloaded that soundtrack, but it's funny how the universe works.
Oh, it's so great. And the look on your face, like what's going through your mind as you're walking like that?
Simple thoughts.
Like what? Kill?
It's not about death.
Okay.
You don't think of it that way.
Okay.
But I like how I describe it. I'm in there to, I look at all the heavyweight division like we're the monsters of the division. I'm in there to end them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to come on the feet or come on the ground now. I think that means a lot more coming from me now. People understand how serious I am. And it's just, for me, it's exciting because I have so much more to show. You guys have just seen a scratch of it. It's crazy how much I've evolved in the 5 years since doing my thing with Luis and being here.
It is a beautiful thing.
I've become, I don't know, you put whatever, 10 times, 50 times, 100 times the fighter in this last 5 years than I was the last 10 years. Any footage you watch me in 2009, 2010, watch this guy beat me, that guy beat me, please. Not the same person, completely different. I can confidently tell you that. And because it's true.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
So.
All right, it continues April 10th, UFC Fight Night 86 in Zagreb, Croatia. It is Ben Rothwell against Junior dos Santos. And I believe, perhaps they didn't put this out there, but I believe this is on FS1, right?
Yeah, everybody gets to watch.
Yeah, how about that?
Get FS1. Trust me, Kenosha loves that.
Kenosha loves. Are you going to Croatia beforehand to do any press stuff?
Yes, sir.
All right, wow. Dramatic
It's all
pause.
part of being the main event. Like I said, these are the things that I wanted to it was my first main event.
Yeah.
I knew these things that I'd do it, but I got to do it now. I got to prove that I can, if I'm going to be in a title fight, I'm going to be defending champion. These are things that I have to do. So for me, took an opportunity because I want to practice.
Pleasure to have you on. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Ben. Good luck in the fight. I'm assuming we'll talk to you beforehand, but really happy that you reached out and we got you on the show today. Congrats on the win, as I told you in Newark, and now I'm sold. Now I can't wait. Now I'm on board. JDS
Good.
Rothwell.
You were my man. You were definitely great at getting my message out there. So
I'm sold.
Let them all know.
Thanks, Ben. Talk to you soon.
Board. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. There he is. Big Ben Rothwell.